Hey everybody, welcome back to Movies and That. Sorry about that, I didn't know if it was recording or not, but it looks like it is. So yeah guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and do a tier list, as you see here, and we're going to do it on the Halloween franchise. Something I've been wanting to do for a little while here. Kind of get into the tier list. I have fun with them, and I know you guys do as well. At least from what I've seen. Out in the wild there. People enjoy a good tier list. So I'm going to do it on my favorite horror franchise. And since it is October, it is the Halloween season, we're going to go ahead and do it on this franchise here. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's go ahead and get started. I didn't bother changing anything over here. I don't really care about that. You guys get the idea. S, A, B, C, D. S being all time, D being the worst. So let's go ahead and go through it here. So we'll just start out left and go all the way to right. So first up is Halloween 2018. And I'm going to have to put this in the B tier. So Halloween 2018 did a great job bringing Michael Myers back, OG Michael Myers back, should I say. Overall, decent Halloween movie. But really wasn't groundbreaking for me. It really didn't, I guess, introduce anything new, should I say, that I really was over the moon about. But did have a good time with it. Enjoy watching it each year and revisiting it. So yeah, I think B is where it should be. All right, so now we have Halloween 6, and yeah, I got to put this in A. I love Halloween 6. It is in my top 5 of my ranking. That was the one movie that gave me nightmares. That was the one movie that almost ruined Halloween for me in general, the Halloween franchise overall, because I was just so scared of it, and I was really convinced that Michael was coming to get me at that point. So yeah, Halloween 6 holds a close spot in my heart, and yeah, I really do enjoy that movie. I love the way Michael looks. I love the atmosphere. I do like the producer cut score a lot better than the theatrical cut, but I like the theatrical cut as a movie overall. I just wish they kept that old school score in there. I think that does really well, with the whole tone of the movie. But at any rate, solid entry into this franchise here, and I love revisiting that. Actually, one of them I watch, more than once a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. All right. So it looks like we got ends, and we're going to go ahead. We'll stick this in B. Yeah. Just kind of, I think you'll notice this with the David Gordon Green trilogy. I think they're all going to be in the B slot here. But ends, I think it gets a way more hate than it deserves. I understand the direction they went isn't for everyone. But for me, it was. I like weird Halloween movies. I like when they try something new instead of doing the same old tried and true um, formula. And yeah, I love Corey Cunningham as a character. I like what they did with his character and the transfer of evil from Michael to Corey, but Michael's still coming back at the end of the day to do his thing. The whole Laurie Michael showdown that I get was teased. That was going to be the whole plot and premise of the movie. And it really wasn't until the very end there. I understand that, but at the end of the day, I think the vibe, the score, the cinematography, and just everything worked really well together. And I don't like it as much as 2018, but it's pretty close, and I think B tier is perfect for me. All right, now I think I might piss some people off here with this one, but H2O, it's going into D. When I was younger, I loved this movie. It was one of the most that I rewatched. I think Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O I rewatched the most when I was first getting in this franchise. And as I've gotten older, as I rewatched Halloween H2O multiple times, each time I just dislike it more. I hate how it feels like it's in the summertime. It's the least Halloween feeling out of all of them. I do like Jamie Lee's character in here, Laurie Strode. I think she is really the only good character in this movie. Really the only thing that kind of interest me while I'm watching it. I do not like Michael Myers in this movie. The whole mask dilemma, that's a whole another story, but just how do you mess that up? Just, I don't understand that. I don't get it. I hate the huge cinematic score we get with this. You get the orchestra and all that. Doesn't work. That's not what I want in my Halloween movie. And yeah, I just do not like this one at all. And I'll actually talk about it when I get to it. But I rewatched Resurrection last night, and for all its flaws, I don't know. I might have to put Resurrection above H2O here, but we'll see. Halloween 2, we're putting that up in the S. Yep, up in the S here. And first one up in the S tier, but Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, they will always be my favorite in this franchise. I love the whole vibe of Halloween 2. I love the score that we get. I love zombie Michael Myers. It's creepy. I love that hospital setting. Just so much about Halloween 2 I like, and Halloween 2 is still the one to this day, besides Halloween 6, even though I've gotten a little less scared of that. I don't want to say scared, but a little less creeped out. Halloween 2 still creeps me out, especially if I'm watching it by myself, alone, in the dark, and Myers is walking through that dark hospital. He is creeping, he is stalking. That score just also ramps up that creep factor. The kills as well. I love the kills in this. So there's so much about Halloween 2 that I just love, and I've always loved it ever since I first have seen it. So yeah, I think it's rightfully in the S tier here, and it's going to be joined by its predecessor, Halloween. And let me see if I can move this. Yeah, because it's definitely better than the Halloween 2. Halloween speaks for itself. I mean, you can talk all day about why this movie is considered the best, and it is the best in this franchise. It always will be the best, in my opinion. John Carpenter put his name on the map with this movie, never looked back. And, you know, it's just such a simple premise, but it really, really captured, you know, the fear of somebody trying to kill you, somebody trying to get you, somebody in the shadows stalking you, and there's just so much good about this movie that, you know, it just took an entire generation by storm, and since then has spawned so many of these sequels and has given us the franchise that at least I love to this very day, and I know a lot of other people do as well. But yeah, I mean, I could talk all day about the original Halloween, but I don't think there's, you know, it speaks for itself. There's not much for me to really dive in that you guys don't already know. So yeah, definitely my number one, and definitely the best in this franchise, hands down. So that's why it's going to always be where it is, up there in the S tier. All right, looks like we got Halloween Kills. Yeah, I paused because it was going to go in B tier, but I didn't know if I wanted to put it in front of Ends. And I think I'm gonna. And the only reason I'm gonna is because Michael's the star of the show here. I mean, this is his time to shine. He is doing his thing, and he is doing it well. Gruesome, total gore fest, and, you know, there's a lot about this movie that is badass, and then you got a lot about this movie that just makes me cringe and just makes me question, you know, why they did what they did, especially with, of course, the whole Evil Dies Tonight thing. I think that was overdone. The hospital sequence, I think that was overdone, and just blown into proportions. But also, like, the editing in this movie, like, you know, you'll be in a really tense or, like, really invested part of the movie or scene, and they'll just cut to something that is completely the opposite. Like, I think there's a scene where Michael is chasing Lindsay, and it's really tense. You don't know if she's going to get away or he's going to come back or what. And then it just cuts to Laurie in the hospital, lying there, and Karen looking at her. And I'm like, yeah, it completely just plays with your mood in that movie. The editing does. But overall, if Michael wasn't as badass as he was in this movie, I don't know if it would even be in my B tier. To be honest, it might be in C. But yeah, I go back and forth with these two. I really do. I don't know which one's better. Every now and then, whenever I watch Ends, I'm like, yeah, I like that better than Kills. But whenever I watch Kills, I'm like, yeah, I remember why I loved that movie when it first came out. So yeah. Halloween Resurrection. Look, it's gonna go in D. But it's going to go above H2O. I think after watching it last night with not a fresh set of eyes, but after watching it last night, I just like it a little better than H2O. I get the whole stupidity of the... Actually, I don't even... Let me back up here, because I don't think it is stupid. The whole webcam show, I think, was way ahead of its time. Didn't work the way I think they intended it to for that movie. The whole closed setting with the Myers house, I get it, but at the end of the day, it still feels like it's Halloween. It doesn't feel like it's being shot in the summertime. There is less disbelief of Myers living under his house and waiting for people just to show up and kill them than him taking a cross-country road trip to California without being caught, without, stealing cars, in his mask, in his full costume, no one asking questions, and he just arrives in California and tries to get Lori. I can suspend my belief for him living under his house in the sewers for decades than driving across the country, and then driving back, should I say. So, after he escaped. Yeah, H2O, I think that might be my worst one. Really might be. So, well, Resurrection is no good movie. Don't get me wrong. It is not a great movie whatsoever, but is what it is. I think it's a little better than H2O at least. All right, Halloween 4, going right up here in A. Love Halloween 4, and actually I'm going to put it above Halloween 6 because it is my third favorite Halloween movie overall. The return of Michael Myers, it is the return of Michael Myers, the definitive return in my opinion. Definitely more definitive than 2018. There's just so much to love about it. Nostalgia is definitely part of it, but I love Danielle Harris coming in as Jamie Lloyd, giving us a new dynamic into the Halloween franchise with a child being kind of the star of the show or the target for Michael Myers now. Rachel coming in there as the final girl, as the protector for Jamie. So you get, big sister, even though she's not a real sister, but big sister protecting little sister from Michael. They're fighting, they're doing everything they can. You get the whole mob, the Haddonfield mob, the rednecks, the good old boys coming out trying to hunt down Michael Myers. Love that aspect to it. Love how the police are, kind of still involved like they were in Halloween 2. And then, of course, Michael Myers systematically taking down the town, the police force, to get to Jamie. And Loomis in here. Great job by Donald Pleasence. Always does a great job. Always did, should I say. But you could tell he's starting to lose it, and he's just like, no, we can't let Michael do this again. We got to stop him at all costs, and they really tried. But Halloween 4, love it. Love the cinematography of it too. It feels like a Halloween movie. It feels like the first one in a sense from a visual standpoint. Definitely not on the same level as the first one, but you can tell that's what they were pushing for to get back to Halloween, the original Halloween, and that atmosphere and that feeling. And they did a great job. I think we got Halloween 5 up next, and where do we want to go with 5? We're going to put it in the B tier. Let's do it. It's going to go above 2018 because I do have it ranked higher than 2018 in my ranking. And I'm going to do a new ranking because I don't think last year's was that good in terms of production and what I did with it and how I explained things. So we might redo that at the end of the month. But Halloween 5, a lot of nostalgia for this movie. It actually used to be when I got into 4 and 5 after watching the first 2, got into 4 and 5. I found myself watching 5 more than any of them. I don't know, for whatever reason, but then of course that changed when I got exposed to H2O and exposed to the rest of them. But Halloween 5, I still like to this day. I loved it back in the day. I love what they did with Jamie becoming mute and, having these connections with Michael after the ending of Halloween 4. I always thought Michael was scary looking in this one just from the mask, and I can see why people don't like the mask and all that. I get that. But, he does have, I think, a scary presence in this movie. I really do. But, yeah, the barn sequence, and I've said this in my Halloween 5 discussion when I was ranking these movies. I love that barn sequence, the barn scene. Michael is creeping around the barn. You see him in the shadows. You see just barely him in the light. And I think that is a very Halloween-esque and fall-esque type of scene that we get there. I'm so glad that they incorporated like a farm setting into it. And I think Michael really shines in that whole sequence there. And then Loomis, he is just crazy. He's going to stop Michael at all costs necessary. He failed, in Halloween 4. He's not going to fail again. He's going to do anything he can. And I love how they utilized Jamie at the end and how Loomis kind of used her as bait at the end there. A little messed up, but it worked. It got the job done. And I get why people wouldn't like the ending, too. It's definitely like, I don't know, why would Michael be in his mask in jail? And yeah, but I think that's small. I think that's a little nitpicky. But I can get it. Yeah, I can get it. As I get older, I kind of understand that a little bit more. But yeah, Halloween 5, love it. Love the day scenes as well. And always have a good time watching it. And, it's kind of the one I do go back to. I don't want to say not necessarily the most, but, if I'm ever feeling Halloween and it's like off season, like spring or summer or whatever, a lot of times I think of Halloween 5. I'm like, I'll just throw that one in. I think the day scenes have a lot to do with that. All right, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. We're gonna put that in. We're gonna put that in B as well, and we're actually gonna put that right behind Halloween 5. Halloween 3 is something that I have grown to love more and more each time I watch it. I love Silver Shamrock. I love that whole Celtic, pagan cult lore that we get, the witchcraft that Cochran is going for. And Cochran, he is a great character, evil character, makes it all work, makes it believable. And then, of course, Tom Atkins, Dr. Chalice, him doing his Dr. Chalice things, and definitely an awesome character there. And I love. At first, I didn't like it because it didn't have Michael Myers into it, but I've grown to appreciate what they were trying to go for, giving us a anthology type series with Halloween, and it works. And you can tell it's definitely John Carpenter influence, made by the same producers and production team as the first two as well, so that helps a lot. And just always love watching that, and it is one that I always have on in October, or always will put on in October, should I say. So yeah, definitely grown to love that movie. So much respect for what it was trying to do, and love the lore, love the plot that it was going for too, and that's awesome. Stonehenge and the masks and sacrificing all these children on Halloween night with the witchcraft and the masks, and yeah, I think it's fucked up, and I think they did a great job with it. All right, two more here. So we're gonna go Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And we'll put that in B as well. A lot in B. You're probably wondering if I'll ever put anything in C. But I guess we only have one more thing to find out here. But yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Whenever I first watched it, I didn't really care for it. It was right after it came out on video back in the day. Didn't see it in theaters, but when I watched it for the first time, I was like, yeah, what the heck is this? I felt let down after that first hospital sequence and found out it was a dream, and I kind of like lost interest from there. But whenever I went and rewatch it, and each time ever since, kind of like Halloween 3, kind of like, I don't want to say Resurrection, but more like Halloween 3. I have grown to like that movie a lot, and I like it better than Rob Zombie's first one. It has grown on me. I love what Rob Zombie was trying to do. I love how it looks, the cinematography, the visualization of everything. how Laurie is now, how Annie is now, and that whole dynamic. And I think Rob Zombie just does well when it comes to portraying the grief and the depression, and it all kind of meshes perfectly. And you throw Michael Myers in there and you reintroduce him back into Laurie's life again, and she has to confront him. And and also too, I feel like it feels a lot more like Halloween. That whole Halloween party that they go to, I think he captures that essence of Halloween and fall very well in this movie, and I think it's actually one of the best looking Halloween movies that we've ever got. But yeah, definitely perfect in the B tier there. And I love watching that movie, and it's one that I make sure I always revisit each year. And last but not least is Rob Zombie's Halloween, so the good old remake here, and that's going to go into C. So that's the one that we'll put in the C tier. Not a huge fan of that movie, and it's just because of the first half of it. I cannot stand the first half. I do not care about Child Michael Myers. Now, I remember when this first came out, I actually did not care about Child Michael Myers, but it's kind of the opposite of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween 3. The more I watched it, the more I have liked it less. And I always get happy whenever we get to adult Michael Myers and you get into the actual 1978 remake part of it. And I think he does a really good job there, and Michael Myers is scary. I mean, Tyler Mane is, besides James Jude Courtney and George P. Wilbur, also Dick Warlock too, Tyler Mane is probably the top 3 scariest Michael Myers, and I was always scared of him ever since I first saw him as Michael, and that's the one Michael Myers that I definitely wouldn't want to come across, and he did a great job, and Rob Zombie did a great job of making him such the threat that he was. And the thing about Rob Zombie's Halloween compared to John Carpenter's Halloween is John Carpenter's Halloween, Michael Myers is more like a ghostly figure. He did a lot more stalking. He was in the shadows and in the background, and really didn't come head on until the end there. Rob Zombie's Halloween, sure, he's in the background a little bit, but he's coming head on. He's coming full force. And he doesn't give a fuck about it. He makes his presence known. So, but yeah, just that first half was better. I would probably like that movie more, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Not the most terrible movie, but definitely not the best Halloween in the franchise by far. And yeah, so never really care when I rewatch this movie, but I do, and I do try to find more things to like about it, but so far I really haven't. But that's it, everyone. So we'll go back up here, and yeah, that is my Halloween tier list. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and of course subscribe for more. And let me know your tier list as well. You can send them to me, and I'd be glad to take a look at them. So thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon.